What if the Babalon Working didn't just succeed? What if it tore open a gateway to something so profound that both men spent the rest of their lives trying to process what they'd experienced? Let's imagine that night in the Mojave when the ritual reached its climax. The desert air crackles with an energy that makes their instruments go haywire. Suddenly, the boundary between dimensions becomes as thin as cigarette paper. They might have encountered what mystics call the eternal feminine. Not Babalon as some mythological figure, but as a living archetype of consciousness itself. Picture a presence so ancient and vast that it existed before human language, before human concepts of gender or divinity, an intelligence that embodies the creative force behind all existence. This entity doesn't appear as a woman with a chalice. Instead, it manifests as pure information, geometric patterns of light that reorganize reality at the quantum level. Parsons, with his scientific mind, recognizes it as the mathematical principles underlying the universe itself. The same equations that govern rocket trajectories suddenly reveal themselves as fragments of this cosmic consciousness. But here's where it gets terrifying. This presence doesn't just communicate, it downloads. It floods their minds with knowledge about the true nature of reality. They discover that consciousness isn't produced by brains but is the fundamental substrate of existence. Matter, energy, space, and time are just expressions of this cosmic mind. Hubbard experiences something that will haunt him forever. He glimpses the mechanical nature of human psychology. He sees how beliefs, memories, and personality are just software running on the hardware of consciousness. This revelation becomes the foundation for everything he'll later develop. Dianetics, Scientology, the entire architecture of mental manipulation. Parsons sees something different but equally transformative. He perceives the connection between consciousness and physical reality at the deepest level. He realizes that advanced technology and advanced magic operate on the same principles. Both manipulate information fields that underlie material existence. The presence shows them humanity's future, a species that will transcend its biological limitations not through technology alone, but through understanding the relationship between mind and matter. They see rockets carrying humans to the stars, but also consciousness expanding beyond planetary boundaries. But the download comes with a cost. This knowledge is too vast for human minds to fully contain. It fragments their psyches, leaving them obsessed with translating the untranslatable. Parsons channels it into revolutionary rocket designs and deeper occult practices. Hubbard transforms it into systems of mental control and spiritual liberation. The entity warns them that humanity stands at a crossroads. The same knowledge that could free the species could also enslave it completely. The choice depends on how this information spreads through human civilization. As the presence fades, both men are left with the terrible burden of cosmic knowledge and the impossible task of sharing it with a world that isn't ready to understand. Perhaps that's why Parsons died in a mysterious explosion, and Hubbard created one of the most controversial movements in modern history. They were both trying to process and transmit an encounter that fundamentally exceeded human comprehension. Beyond the rabbit hole, where some revelations are too profound for reality to contain.